What's up, guys? How you doing today? Jesus loves you so much, and I hope you're doing good. Hope your weekend's going good. Just doing this live here, first time. And it's 3 in the morning. You guys come in, check it out. What is going on in the world? America just struck Iran 3 times. And I just read that Trump came out and said, hey, you know what? If Iran doesn't come to the table and negotiate, we're going to hit them again, and it'll be easy. That's what he said. And, after he struck Iran with, nobody did anything to us to do that. It basically essentially started a war, potentially. He, after that, said that now we can sit back and wait for peace. As if that's what happens when you punch somebody in the face. There's usually not peace afterwards, right? So what are we looking at? Are we going to go into the tribulation soon? Are we going to get raptured out of here soon? What do you think? A lot of questions right now. A lot going on. And we're in uncharted waters. I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers right now, Christian YouTubers, with videos that say World War III just started, And a lot of people are looking at these wars as being potentially the war of Armageddon, the Gog and Magog war, right? The Psalms 83 war. So what are we looking at here, We got Ezekiel's war, when God fights against Israel's enemies. I personally believe that those wars are going to be at the end of the tribulation. And because there's a lot of blind support for Israel, people don't realize that God doesn't step in for Israel until the end of the nation, it seems. Or maybe the mid, but people don't realize that the entire tribulation is to chasten Israel. It's not like God is giving unsupported blind carte blanche for them to do whatever they want. No, the whole point of the tribulation is to bring Israel, the nation, and the people to Christ, right? In order to do that, they're going to have to go through a lot of bad stuff. That's what we're coming into, the time of what? Jacob's trouble. The tribulation is for Jacob. This guy's stranded. He need hope. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of blind support for Israel, which comes a lot from the political parties taking over our churches and grabbing the pastors' ears and telling them what to write. I don't know if they're paid off, right? And so a lot of people are blindly supporting this country, and I don't really see much biblical support for it. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, check out that debate between Tucker Carlson and Ted Cruz. You got 2 Christians who are on the opposite sides of the spectrum of the issue of the political state of Israel. We also need to read that World War III letter written by Albert Pike. He predicted all this stuff. Right? He talked about it. They said that the Illuminati, the powers that be that run the world, that they're the ones who create these conflicts. World War I and II was a manufactured creation by the elites to bring in, the New World Order every step of the way. The first step was they tried it with the EU. I'm sorry, not the EU, but the League of Nations, to try to make this one world government, all the nations come together. It didn't really stick, but they definitely destroyed Germany in particular and the European countries. And Albert Pike, the 33-degree Freemason, listed all these purposes out. Why are we going to do these wars? Why are we going to foment these wars? Well, this is why, right? World War II was to bring in communism, which they did. Actually, no, that was World War I, my bad. World War II was to bring in the state of Israel. The Illuminati's purpose partly was to bring in the state of Israel, which they did. And they said World War III, they would take the Muslims and pit them against political Zionism. And those two would fight, and they would bring in the Christians on the side of the Zionists, and it would destroy all religion, and it would be the worst war ever. And that's what we're going into. So you want to say God is using Donald Trump? Questionable. Maybe Satan's using Donald Trump, right? point is, it's all prophetic. It's all going to happen. But, you know, confused about what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. There's debate about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, is God going to step in and destroy Iran? We got to realize something. In the Old Testament, when the Jews were following God and they went to war, they didn't just go to war with whoever they wanted, whenever they wanted, and just kill people. No. Far from it. In fact, they didn't go to war unless they asked God in particular. The priests would go to God in the temple and ask him, should we go to war with these people? And they would sit and they would wait for God to answer. They wouldn't go to war. And guess what would happen if they did go to war without God's? They would be destroyed, right? Remember when they went up against the peoples? God told them to go up against the people with Joshua, and they were afraid. Joshua and there was like one or two other guys that wanted to do it, but they said, "Oh no, they're like giants, right?" They saw the Nephilim there, and they said, "No, we can't do it." So they doubted God. They didn't go to war, and then afterwards, after they got punished, then they said, yeah, we'll go to war. And so they grabbed their weapons, they went to war, and they were destroyed. And God told them, you didn't go when I told you. The point is, you didn't have God on your side. You didn't have God fighting for you. There were a lot of times with Israelites, they didn't even have to fight, right? In Jericho, they just walked around 7 times. God did the work. That's fighting for God. This is a whole different thing. Now you have these countries and these people who are just doing whatever they want, killing innocent people, not asking God. They're not even godly people. They're not even religious. They're mostly secular. And then Christians are blessing it. No. God is bigger than the box that the church puts him in. Thank you guys for hopping on here. And it's my first live. So I might delete it because it was kind of political. But love you guys so much. Keep coming back. Rapture is very soon. Get ready. Peace, love, and blessings to you and yours. Jesus loves you. I'm out. Peace.